तुषार मेरी बॉटल को पीने नहीं चाहिए। Just go. Coke with gin. कुछ नहीं है उसमें।
Good evening, everyone. Cadet Sarthak, Shivam, and we might have heard many more. These are the names which bring fear and worries to our mind, and that's the reason we are here today. IMS always tries to be ahead of time, We like to prepare for things which might not come, or things which we might see in future. And that was one of the reasons when COVID came, we were the first one to be ready with all the online training. In same way, today, we are here with a topic which is very, very important for us. Building mental resilience in young seafarers. IMS, many of us know about IMS in a short frame. We thought of creating one small competition. It was my idea. And we created a competition for them to make reels. As you know, today's generation likes those things. And just yesterday, one of the students sent me one reel which he made. And which was really, he just sent it, it's draft, it's fresh, people have not seen it, even director and deputy director have not seen it, but I liked it so much, I thought, why not show it to everyone? And it will be like what we can see IMS is, you also can see what it is. So I will request even director and deputy director Akash to please play the video. I thought, why not show it? You also can see what it is. So I will request even director and deputy director Akash.
There was once a time when I stood exactly where you may be standing today. Uncertain, confused, and full of questions. What should I do? Where will life take me? How do I... There was once a time when I stood exactly where you may be standing today. Uncertain, confused, and full of questions. What should I do? Where will life take me? How do I... There was once a time when I stood exactly where you may be standing today. Uncertain, confused, and full of questions. What should I do? Where will life take me? How do I build a future I can truly be proud of? I too be standing today. Uncertain, confused, and full of questions. What should I do? Where will life take me? How do I build a future I can truly be proud of? I too searched for direction, for a purpose, and that is when my journey began. Let me take you through the pages of my life. Let me tell you my story at IMS Goa. Established in 1997, IMS Goa has been shaping the future of a spy journey began. Let me take you through the pages of my life.
Unfortunately, the quality of IMS video, our industry is not ready for it. Okay, one mistake which I made, I got it on my laptop, and since it was the thing only which I
marine engineers with excellence, discipline, and technical expertise, built with the vision of creating world-class professionals for the...
I got it on my laptop, and since it was the thing only which I
marine engineers.
Okay, I'll do one thing. My team will try some other means till that time, and I will bring this video again. Okay, so we'll go ahead with the other things. What I wanted to show in this video is things have changed in IMS. Now we have IMS's first batch student who is running, who is the director. We have IMS student what I wanted to show you who have risen up the rank. Things have changed in IMS. And they are on ship and they are teaching. I can teach you code in Python. Okay. So we'll come back to this video and we'll move to the topic. We have IMS students. So on behalf of the Institute of Maritime Studies, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to this technical seminar. I don't have to discuss more in detail on this topic. We all understand, and that's the reason so many of you are here today. Seafaring is a profession that not only tests technical knowledge, but also tests patience, emotional balance, discipline, and mental strength. Today's seminar is dedicated to an aspect of maritime life that is extremely important, but often not discussed enough: mental resilience. To formally welcome everyone, I now request Shri Olvin Dais, Deputy Director of IMS Goa, to deliver the welcome address. Discussed enough mental resilience. To formally welcome everyone, I now request.
Good evening, lovely ladies and gentlemen. I, Olvin Dais, on behalf of the Society of Industrial and Technical Education of Goa and Institute of Maritime Studies, extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you at the Institute of Maritime Studies seminar on the theme Building Mental Resilience and Emotional Strength in Young Seafarers. We are truly grateful for your presence here today. The maritime profession has always been regarded as one of the courage, discipline, and endurance, while much emphasis is placed on the technical competence and operational excellence. Today's gathering highlights a subject that is equally critical and often under-discussed: the mental and emotional well-being of our seafarers. Life at sea is unlike any other profession. Long months away from family, isolation, demanding work environments, multicultural crews, and the constant pressure to perform under challenging conditions can take a significant toll on even the most capable individuals. The transition from shore life to ship life is not always easy, especially for the young cadets stepping on board for the very first time. It is reality that many young seafarers begin their journey technically prepared, but not always mentally equipped to handle the emotional demands of life at sea. This gap, if left unaddressed, can impact not only individual well-being but also the safety, teamwork, and overall performance on board. Through this platform, we aim to openly discuss the challenges faced by the young seafarers, share practical strategies to build resilience, and create awareness about the importance of emotional strength. Most importantly, we seek to foster a culture where mental health is acknowledged, supported, and strengthened just as rigorously as technical skills. We are fortunate to have with us a distinguished panel of experts and professionals who will share their insights, experience, and guidance on this vital subject. I encourage all participants to engage actively, ask questions, and make the most of this opportunity. Let us remember, a resilient seafarer is not just a better professional, but a safer and stronger individual at sea. Once again, I extend my heartfelt welcome to all of you. I wish the seminar a great success and meaningful discussion ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Our first speaker for the evening is Captain Rajat Katoria, Learning and Development Manager at Scorpio Marine Management Private Limited. Captain Rajat Katoria is a seasoned maritime professional with nearly 2 decades of sailing experience. He began his career as a deck cadet and rose through the ranks to become a master. After his sailing career, he transitioned ashore and now plays a key role in training and developing young seafarers. Interestingly, during his time ashore between sailings, he also has actively involved in road safety and traffic studies, leading projects and involving safety audits and traffic analysis, showing his deep commitment to safety not only at sea but also on land. He holds an MBA in International Business Management and currently heads the Learning and Development team, where he is nurturing and guiding the next generation of maritime professionals. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Captain Rajat Katuria. Where he is nurturing and guiding the next generation of maritime professionals. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Captain Rajat Katuria.
Thank you, Esther. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for the warm welcome. So, I was just sitting there, and when he said that video we are not able to run, I couldn't hold myself. So there's something, he said that he was trying to blame himself or the industry. Blame fixes nothing. One of the very important principles of HOP is that blame fixes nothing. It's okay. Things go wrong, and how well we could recover, that's the other principle. How we respond, it really matters. So this two thing, it's okay. Things go wrong in very big events like Oscars also, things do go wrong. So we understand that. Okay. That's the other principle. How we respond, it really matters. So this two thing, it's okay. Things go wrong in very big events like Oscars also, things do go wrong. So we understand that. Okay. In case somebody is interested, there are 5 principles of HOP. Maybe Pooja will touch upon that. Yeah, I'll leave it up to you later on for that thing. Okay, so I was told to have some 15 minutes. It's 7. I'll try to be sharp, completing it by 7:15. Raise the things, because when I do the seminar, I have a board there. Pooja ma'am is here, Nilesh sir is here. They are my guiding factors. So we keep that board 5 minutes and then we say stop. So we have to respect time. There was some delay initially because of because the venue was occupied by someone else. So that's fine. We'll keep it 15 minutes sharp for my presentation. So I was told this building mental resilience and emotional strength in young seafarers. This is the topic, and I was asked, can you suggest a subtopic? What will you be taking? So it becomes a little difficult. I said, you already have a topic. What else I can suggest? But that's something which came to my mind is the inner anchor, the inner thing when we relate to the mental resilience and emotional strength in young seafarers. A lot of cadets are watching, which I came to know by the time you sent a message that it's live on YouTube. I was not aware, but it's more for the audience here, and of course the cadets will also benefit. Young seafarers. Okay. A lot of cadets are watching. A lot of young cadets come when we interview them. I ask them when. I think every one of you must have asked this question, and maybe the people would have asked you this question. Okay. Why you want to join merchant navies? Cadets listening to me, for you also. What answers you think we get? Anyone? I mean, I'm here for discussion. I'm not an expert on this topic. I'm open for the discussion, please. What is cadets listening to me? Travel, money. Exactly. What answers you think we get? Earn money, see the world. That's 2 answers every time I get. And sometimes cadets try to navigate here and there. They say, no, it's my passion. I want to be at sea. I ask them, have you been ever to sea? They say, no. How that passion, came into you. So then I bring them back to this 2 things, and they agree, and most of us agree. Money part, I say, still it is there. I ask them, have you still, I mean, there are other opportunities as well, but still a decent money is there in shipping. See the world. Is it present there now? They agree, and most of us agree. Money part, I say, still it is there. The guy who was so happy during the interview, I will go around the world, see the world, is now 3 months on board without any shore leave. Last port, when he reached, there was a terminal restriction. Terminal said no shore leave. This was the story in all the other ports as well. Any one of you, could you share any experience where you didn't get the shore leave for maybe 3-4 months Anyone? Yeah, yes, Nitin. Okay, sir, I'll come to you. Nitin, this was the story in all the other ports as well. Any one of you, could you share any experience where you didn't get the shore leave for maybe 3, 4 months? Anyone? Yeah, yes, Nitin. Okay, sir, I'll come to you. Nitin, this was the story.
Hello, good evening. My name is Nitin and I'm with Software and Quality Assurance Department. Same company. So, couple of days before, I was talking to my neighbor. His son wants to join shipping. So I asked the same question: why are you so much eager? And he was like, it's more about traveling and adventure. Same company. So I was discussing with him, like it's not about every time traveling and on. So it remember me. So I asked the same question: why are you from engineer background? He was like, we was approaching Sydney and maneuvering was there. So we all engineers want to see what's happening around. I skipped from the steering gear room and went up to poop deck. From engineer background, so I can see the city lights and all. As if the city calling me, Nitin, come, food is waiting for you. So we all engineers want to. When I went down, I received a call from chief officer, and I'm sure every engineer hates this call. So I can see because provision was there and they want engineers up. Nitin, come, food is waiting for you. So I was told only 30 minutes, then you will go out and enjoy shore leave. These 30 minutes went up to 3.5 hours. So after that I was totally exhausted, literally counting how much potatoes, why captain orders so much quantity of potatoes and onions. Go out and then shore leave exhausted, even I got exhausted. So I want to name this event as a literally counting how much potato provision trapped quantity of potatoes. Because of this provision, I got trapped. A similar event approaching to Japan, and I was ready in the CCR waiting for my shore pass. Provision shaved, perfume and all, shoes polished, and suddenly chief officer said, terminal say no shore. When I went back, opened my shoes, just lie down and watching bulkheads. So I told my neighbor, like it's not about only traveling on. Sometimes it's about counting potatoes, onions and watching the bulkhead also. I went back, okay, so thank you.
Thank you, Nitin. Thank you for sharing that. Sir, my time is extra.
I told my neighbor, like it's not about...
I'll just take 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm Captain Bhandarkar. My son was sailing with one of the best companies. And when he joined, just a month later, COVID set in. A 4-month contract extended to 8 months. And he's engaged. He was dating a girl. They are both married now. But that time, that 8 months was like too long. And just like he said, you dressed up and wanted to go ashore, no shore. And he wants to go and meet his girlfriend after this contract. It's a big thing for them. These youngsters can't do it. They can't handle this. And we sailed 3 years, but we can't compare ourselves with them now anymore. It is the present people. They cannot hold them for them. 2 months, they want 2 months, 1 day extra, nothing more than that. And after that, he was on the verge of getting crazy. He came home so upset with shipping, he left sailing. Fortunately, he did his MBA. He is doing exceptionally well, but this may not happen for everybody. They lose their control, they get berserk. That's what is not good.
Right, sir. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, I mean, he was fortunate. It was his girlfriend. I had a similar thing, but like my dad was fixing my, getting me to do arranged marriage. We all know how difficult it is to find a girl for a merchant navy guy. For sharing that. And it was like I told them 4 months I'll be back, and it ended up 6 months. When I returned, they said no. The girl knew now that merchant navy, don't marry the merchant navy guy. So I was not that. Now I'm lucky because I got a better half. So that's fine. But it happens. So that's something we call it to be resilient. The guys watching out there, all the cadets, just make sure that we need to be resilient. Resilience because I got a the spring you stretch, it has to come back to its shape. Something which I always related to being resilient. So that's something again, shore-lived. When you have something in mind that you are going on board, going to see a lot of things around the world, but this is sometimes what is the reality. We know. So being resilient. Okay, so next question again. As an industry leaders, are we truly prepared to embrace mental resilience and emotional strength? That's something I wanted to ask everyone. I was asking Shivram sir, do we have a curriculum already about it? No. So that's something we should stress on. I mean, seminars we can discuss a lot of things, but that's something we should at least introduce these words to the cadets. Our time we only maybe have seen these topics coming up in some magazine or somewhere, but this is something which we should really look forward to. Onboard support system. That Captain Glenn's story is just for my reference. So there was one Captain Glenn. I was sailing with him. I was his chief officer. This captain was different. I've seen a lot of captains, but this captain was different. How he was different? He knew each and every crew member's stories. Each and every crew member, he will have a good discussion. I was chief officer. I'm supposed to know how is this. How he was different, I was knowing. He knew, but he was knowing which AB or which OS or which oiler is having a difficult time at home. He used to talk with each and every person. Ask them how many daughters or how many sons you have, how many kids, what are they doing. He had such a good relationship with each and every group member that, he was aware. He was telling me, Rajat, don't worry, I know this guy. Just be careful. He's having some issue because uska bhi bete ka exam hai. So, he must be tensed. So just take care of him. So that is something, the onboard system, the support system was really good. The master was aware of each and every person on board. That is something which I saw exemplary in this person. And that's the thing when I was just, thinking about this topic. That was the captain who came to my mind. Combating isolation, the trust. We say trust, onboard trust. A word very simple to use, but it's very difficult to have that trust. See, if I'm not, how many of you come to know when you are not physically well? And you have the symptoms, correct? It's very easy for us to find out, okay, I'm not well, I'm not feeling well. But what about here? The mental thing. It's really difficult, the emotional part. And it's not very easy to tell to others also. You can say, okay, I can discuss, but I'm not aware myself. Maybe when, I was given the topic, I was also under stress. But to whom to tell? I come for some enjoyment, not for this stress. So, but Shivram sir said, no, you have to do this. I said, okay. But, it's not easy to always raise your hand and tell to everyone. So that's something we have to be mindful, especially for the cadets, when they go on board, they have to be mindful of this thing. That it's the trust which they develop with the other crew members, like this captain, the Captain Glenn story. The crew member were very happy to relate to him, tell him each and everything, every problem of their life. He was knowing. That's something we need to develop. Mindfulness and stress management. Meditation, I think Deepak sir, you will be taking care of that meditation part also. That's I found, but you are an expert on that. But that is something which is actually useful if it is done on board. Okay, then there was something which I found. Proactive self-care. Young seafarers should adopt healthy routines, including prioritizing 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Instagram takes a lot of time. Even I got addicted after one reel after another. Taking advantage of recreational opportunities. I think most of the vessels have the gym. Then I went to one of the cadets. I asked him, I said, you have now the recreational activities. How well you utilize that on board? This is the statement the cadet gave me. I just want to read out. This is from a cadet. I'm not naming a cadet, but he said to me, I try to keep myself mentally and physically healthy by going to the gym, exercising or doing small recreational activities after work. It helps me manage stress and stay balanced during the contract. But many times, instead of support, I receive taunts, comments or judgment from people on board. it makes me feel discouraged and isolated, especially when the same people are the ones I'm supposed to learn from. So this is the statement from the cadet. So I digged it little bit deeper. I said, what happens? So he says that, when I'm coming out of the gym, I'm going up. He says, ये सब करने का टाइम है, एक्स्ट्रा टाइम इंजन रूम में स्पेंड करने का you don't have. कल से देखता हूँ कि कितना जिम में टाइम स्पेंड करता है. इंजन भी है, डेक कैडेट भी ऐसा ही है. So this is anonymous. This one was from both the cadets. I found. So these are the cases for the cadets. When you are in the institute, when you are preparing yourself to go on board, you might find a different scenario altogether. So as a industry leaders, I would suggest, maybe we need to tell the onboard management also, just to, be prepared for all these things. We should allow them to, we say, because I think my other members will be discussing more on the particular parts, but these are some things which I suggest we should also think we have to work on. Okay, the other one was, I have 5 minutes. Other one was the fatigue management. This is also a very big cause where people are not able to sleep properly, and then other mental resilience thing you can't handle, or the emotional things, it becomes difficult. So the fatigue part. So I checked. We have very nice chapter from Sola's ship's manning, which clearly states that every ship must carry a safe manning document and sufficiently and efficiently manned vessel. SOLAS has given you a very nice clear guidelines, but minimum is not always enough. So it's minimum. It's the minimum. We are complying, everything is fine, but it is not enough. IMO came out with the circular 1044. It defines what safe manning means, not just minimum numbers, but the right number of competent arrested people. I have just taken the crux using the co-pilot, so it's something, to quickly get the crux of the circular. So this is what it defines, that the safe manning means not just the minimum numbers, but the right number of competent arrested people. So last tells us what must be done. Circular 1044 shows how it should be done well. This is not something in my hand. I'm just here because a lot of industry leaders are here. Maybe we could think of, having more people, which would reduce the fatigue. Every time I get this question from the seafarers asking, can we have one more person? Can we have one more person on board? For me, the question is always no. I have been asking the same thing, but I leave this question to the audience, just to think on these lines. Other important, very important aspect, the family. Girlfriend, no girlfriend. Everyone has a problem. When they are on board, if the family is asking a lot of questions, it's okay. People make mistake, that first principle, so it's fine. So yeah, where I was like, family. You are on ship, you cannot do anything, and still a family wants all the problems to be solved from the vessel. So even, I used to recharge the phone of my family from the vessel. That was sometimes, a task given to me. So, any transactions I have to be, do it from the vessel. Sometimes, you are under a lot of stress, or you are a lot of busy. Operationally you are busy, and then, you are getting a call, and then you don't attend a call to the family, and you don't help them out. They will say, "Arey, what is happening?" So there is a disconnect sometimes with the family. So I feel for the cadets, the family should also be trained. So maybe sometimes, sir, if you have the family or the parents coming, you could, have a session with them also to tell them how much important their support is. Now again the cadet, I asked him, how about the family support? What he is saying? He says, sometimes even at home, family members share their personal problems with me, hoping I can support them. I understand, they trust me, but it becomes difficult because I'm already dealing with my own stress, studies and responsibilities. When I start feeling responsible for solving issues that I can't control, it leave me anxious, confused and emotionally overwhelmed. Same cadet. The same guy, he engine or deck, you can again guesses, but this guy was clearly telling with the family pressure. Anyone who has anything, any questions or any incident coming regarding the family? Because I recently got a call from the cadet out of the, I mean, I'm sharing it, but it's a little geopolitical issues we all know are happening where the seafarers are being recognized now. Everybody knows now around the world that how important the seafarer is for all the things we require. So the the cadet maybe have told the family that he's going to a certain area which is a bit risky in these days. So the father, without knowing where the vessel is going, was like, I'm concerned about my son's safety. He should get down. He should not be there. So I had a call with the family. I discussed with him. I said, sir, do you know where the vessel is? The vessel is not in the area where there are concerns. It's geographically in certain other area. So sometimes, a simple call, and we know that we will be taking care of your son. The vessel is safe. The 22 members are safe. It's only one person giving you a concern. So sometimes, you have to tell the family also. You have to explain them nicely rather than just they are reading the news and, just worried about their people. I used to be in USA, and something happens in the Gulf. My mom used to say, "Are you safe? There is a typhoon coming up here or something." So you need to tell them. I mean, vice versa also. So that's something sir. I would like to request maybe for the families and parents if you could have a session. Other very important topic. I remember my time. The seniors used to mentor me. They used to call me up. Okay, Rajat, ye karna hai. You have to do this. Tell me how will you be doing this. A 10-minute mentoring a day is more than enough. Something which we have lost during the transition period. Abhi I ask people, they say, I am not here to mentor. The person should learn. The person should be prepared. Shivram Sir ka institute hai, IMS institute hai. They should come prepared from there. I am not here to take care of that. But that's something which I think from all the leaders are here. So you should please tell everyone on board. Everyone needs to handhold, mentor the guys. That's the thing. Just 10 minutes a day. So coming 5 minutes उसने लिए सर नितिन ने. तो I'm just utilizing that 5 minutes. So that is the last sentence I would like to leave you all with. The inner anchor within everyone must be nurtured, but its true strength comes from the environment we create together. By collectively fostering mental resilience and emotional strength, we ensure it remains steady and unshaken. That's where I rest my case, and I have my other fellow members who will be taking over. Any questions? Any questions on that?
We'll come back to questions.
Sure, sir. Sure.
We'll have a question and answer session.
Sure, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir. Blame fixes nothing. What an interactive session we had. Next time, obviously, the way the session was conducted, I'll definitely tell sir to give you more time. Next, we have another speaker with us. Now, I'd like to invite Mr. Anand D'Souza, Senior Manager, Learning and Development, MMSI Ship Management, who will speak on the topic, the role of social media on young seafarers. Mr. Anand D'Souza has sailed for 26 years in various companies, V-Ships, UK, NYK, Maersk tankers, TK tankers, from parcel chemical tankers, 3000 fire GRT to FRMX tankers. Worked as a trainer at Sims Govandi and has been in MMSI since 3 years as a senior manager, learning and development. Sir, the stage is yours. Please put your hands together for Mr. Anand D'Souza.
Test, test, test. Okay, so good evening, everyone, and I'm just so happy to be here with all of you again. Yeah, so many familiar faces over the years with IMS Goa, and today I have been asked to speak about mental resilience and emotional strength in our young seafarers. When I got a call from the director, Mr. Shivram, I was at work, I was in training, and the moment he told me about this topic, I was so happy and I said, Sir, thanks so much for giving me this opportunity to speak about it because this is something very close to my heart. What I would like to focus on today is the role of social media in shaping our minds and our emotions. Yeah. And I would like to, I can't make it very interactive today, but I'll just like to ask a few questions to you just to keep it uh, real. How many of you, I think Rajat already said that he's kind of addicted to scrolling. How many of you here are in that flow of scrolling? TikTok shorts, right? YouTube shorts. Yeah, it's addictive. Okay. How many of you are parents of kids? Parents of kids. Oh, lovely. Amazing. Huh? Grandparent also. Okay. So when you put your hands up as parents, took me to another level of feeling the brotherhood with you guys. Okay. So you all know what's happening at home. I'll just give you a disclaimer before I begin. In my own house, I know my kids may be watching right now. The Wi-Fi was disconnected a long time ago. The cables for the PlayStation and the TV were cut by me. And yes, Diwali came early that year. Okay. But it's a disclaimer so that when I preach here, you don't feel like I'm just telling you things. Okay. Social media is a silent force which is dismantling mental resilience and emotional strength in our young seafarers and in our youth. This is what I feel, and maybe I'm wrong. Let's see. Let's picture a 20-odd-year-old cadet. He wakes up for his watch, comes to the bridge. But before that, he's been on Instagram, he's been on Facebook, he's watched a whole bunch of influencers, right? They're all flashing Lambos, they're at fancy restaurants, they're at fancy vacation places. And this guy, he's coming on watch, it's dark, he's in the dark, he's standing there all by himself, right? I think many of us have gone through this. I went through this. When I joined shipping, I went through this, right? I came from Bombay. I was at St. Xavier's College and I went on board the vessel. It was pitch dark in the middle of the night. And when I went to my first port of call, I was so excited, I'm going abroad. In the night, everything changed. It was just darkness. No friends, nothing. Yeah. He wakes up, he's exhausted, and he's wondering, why did he come here? Like Rajat said, I was going to say the same thing, by the way. What do they say when they come for the interviews? I want to travel the world, I want cash, I want this, I want that. And yeah, they try to maneuver around it. But then you can find the cracks in their stories. And where is the passion and motivation for hard work in all that, what they tell us? Do they ever say, I'm going to work hard? Now, I come from a seafaring background, so I know how you get thrashed on board. But the rest of them just think you and them say something during the interview and get through. This is not the story about just one cadet that I'm putting here as an example. This is the entire generation. Let's talk about today what is happening with our youth. Let's talk about it openly. Let's bring out the white elephant in the room. Right? Two qualities that define a seafarer. I wish some of you can see the PowerPoint because there's a lot of stuff on it. Mental resilience, emotional strength. Isn't this what every seafarer needs? I don't want to define it for you guys. You're all very senior. But the ability to keep functioning when things go wrong is mental resilience. The ability to manage fear, loneliness, frustration, and stress without breaking, lashing out, or shutting down is emotional strength, right? But social media is not just distracting our youngsters, it is systematically dismantling both qualities even before they get on your gangway, right? let's talk about the infinite scroll. How are these social media platforms designed? Does anyone know? Can anyone tell me how they're designed? Have you heard about it? Have you been watching the uh, court cases in the US with Mark Zuckerberg, etc.? Have you seen it? Yeah, you watched. So you know, right? He labeled each child in 36 cents per child or something, right? He said that's what one child is worth to me, to my company. I don't know the figure, it may be wrong. So you've got this infinite scroll where there is no natural stopping point. Only when your net fails or your phone fails, right? The feed never ends. It is designed to keep you going. Okay? What is the video length of these short videos? Do you know? It is between, yeah, you know, how much? How much is it? Anyone? 90? No, sir. Less than 30? No, sir. Huh? No, sir. 7, 8? Sir, you're very close. It's 3 to 60 seconds. And how much do the influencers prefer? 15 to 60 seconds is that's what the influencers prefer to keep you hooked. Okay? There is a variable reward. Just like when you go for a lottery or you go to a slot machine. I had to study all this. The seconds and all. So, you know, like you go to a slot machine, paching, you don't know what you're going to get next. So that's what what happens with your scroll. You don't know what's going to come next. The next video may be your jackpot video. I'm going to see something. I'm going to see something. Not this, forget it. Let's go to the next one. 3 to 60 seconds. Keep scrolling. Right? I get carried away sometimes and then I have to snap out of it. There are notifications. I know people at an institute where I used to be a guest faculty. They all had their notifications turned off. I have my notifications turned off, except for Home Minister online right now. Okay, only her notifications come through. Everyone else is not allowed, right? It leads to a compulsive checking of your phone. You're always looking to see whose message, what's the message, what's happening, what's new, right? Here's what a former Facebook engineer says. The goal was never your well-being. It was your attention. Every minute of attention is revenue. Can you understand this? It was never your well-being. It was your attention. They wanted your attention. The average screen time is around 6 to 9 hours. So this means for you kids online and the people here, me included, if you are going to work from 9 to 5 or 8 to 6 or someone going to college and then you spend another 6 to 9 hours online, so what's left of you? What's left? Is there anything else? You just eat, and while eating you see people, they've got their phones in front of them, they're watching Netflix or they're watching some YouTube. That's life. The real world. What is the real world? I call it the real world. This is what I call it, the real world. Effortless, exciting, stimulating, but it's false, beautiful, and it's a virtual world. What is virtual? Virtual means it doesn't exist. It's like Meta. You know Meta's going to be shut down. He spent some billions on it. He's going to shut it down. It didn't work. You've got filters, you've got tools, AI created bodies, relations, lifestyles that are fake. And there are cadets, there are youngsters, there is us, right? We're getting carried away by these images. Look at this image. Everyone's looking at these images, they're getting carried away. People are showing off Lambos. Even they don't own these Lambos. So many frauds. People say they are fin influencers. They turn out to have lost 6 crore instead of earning the 6 crore. It's come in the news, right? What's happening in our real world as sailors, as shipping companies? This is our real world. This is it. This is what we've all been through. You and me, all of us. No exception, right? Dark, cold, hot, confined spaces, lack of oxygen, toxic gases, chemicals, right? Heavy machinery, No internet, slow internet, physically, mentally demanding stuff, real consequences with every decision, right? You make a mistake, there's an overflow. You make a mistake, there's a collision. You're isolated from your family and friends for months. Nothing like this. Nothing like this. You can Photoshop an image. You know nowadays these phones where you can make a group photo without the group being there. You must have seen the ad. I think it's for, I don't know which brand, iPhone or something. You can make a group photo with family members around the world. So what does this social media, what does it create? It creates a very big contrast. This is what our youngsters, when they come on board the ship, they are used to this kind of life. They are seeing this. And for the first time, they see the hardships. They see reality. A mind that is conditioned by a virtual world, the contrast is not uncomfortable, it is destabilizing. They can't deal with it. They're like, bro, we've only seen happy, shiny, happy people. You know the song, right? Shiny, happy people. We've seen shiny, happy people all our lives. 18 years, 24 years, everyone's shining. They've got Lambos, they've got cash, they're in, they're surfing, they're in various parts of the world. And now you bring us here. We're stuck cleaning a sewage tank or a cargo tank. We're working in the engine room. It's hot. What's going on? It's like a fish out of water. Imagine just think you're a fish for 25 years in the sea and somebody brings you out. Can you breathe? Can you breathe? I don't think so. I wouldn't be able to breathe. The next thing is mental resilience. Friends posting nightlife, holidays, promotions, while the cadet stuck somewhere cleaning the bilges. I think I went through this. I'm a little younger. Maybe the older guys also did the same thing. I went on board. I'm stuck cleaning the bilges, stuck cleaning filters, and my friends, they were still studying. And I'm like, Anand, what have you done? Where have you come? I mean, you wanted to become a marine engineer and they told you white and white, wear a pea cap and come out. Where is my white and white? I'm not seeing white and white. Luckily, they used to give us white boiler suits. That is the only white I saw. But I'm like, what the hell is happening? And these guys, the difference between social media and not having social media is out of sight is out of mind. Do you agree? When I came on the ship, I had a 1 month period where I thought, my friends, they are doing this. After that, out of sight, out of mind. By the time I came back, they were with their lives, I was with mine. And I became a seafarer. But today, just think about it. Every second of the day, they can see what their friends are still doing. They can see what other guys are doing, even though it may be fake. And they just cannot deal with this sometimes. Likes have become a measure of your worth. How many of you have posted something online? How many? Only one? Two? Somebody posted, right? Do you, after you post, have you waited for someone to like it? Yes. The youngster will say, this girl liked my selfie. Some senior guy in the company will say, oh, my boss liked my post on LinkedIn. He has commented about it. Wow, I feel great. I'm a man. Oh, or a woman, sorry. I've done it. I've succeeded in my life. Right? Imagine these youngsters, they have nothing. They are little kids. And they get a like from some girl or boy, right? And they're like on top of the world, boss, I'm sorted. This girl is like, now she likes me because she put a like. Actually, she may have just by mistake. I am very good at that. That's why I came out of social media. I used to scroll and in the meantime like 10 other things. So people have outsourced, their self-worth to strangers. And the moment you stop getting likes, you feel, oh my gosh, my self-worth has disappeared. I am nothing. How many of you have felt this? That you waited in the first few minutes. I know I was on Facebook at one time. And then I would see, oh flip, they don't like this only. Nobody's liking it. Panic used to set in. Nobody's liking this. Did I say something that is offensive to somebody, right? What have I done? What have I, let me take it off. All these thoughts go through our minds. And what happens when they come on the ship? The same youngsters, when they come on the ship, no one is watching them, no one is liking them. How many of you are from Manning? Please tell me. How many from Manning? Okay, so you guys are from Manning. Are you liking any of their moves? How many masters and chief engineers here? How many senior officers here? How many of you are liking, sir, you're a big boss. How many of you are liking what your seafarers are doing? Are you liking them? Are you giving them a heart? Giving them an emoji? No. That's too bad because that's the language they understand. They understand this language. Please understand, from birth, like my kids, from birth till date, they only understand this language that if you like something, you put a like. And if you can put a heart or an emoji. And then you see them flying and floating across the screen. But you guys are not doing this. Obviously, it's going to affect them. It is going to affect them. Every scroll is a silent verdict. Everyone else is living better than them. Of course, when they are on the ship, everyone else is doing better. They are getting likes. They are getting hearts. Hearts are floating on the screen. But for these poor people, they've just finished watch and nobody said anything. They fixed something. A third engineer went down. He fixed some major problem. And what did the guy say? Oh, you didn't sign the logbook. Imagine what he's thinking. Bro, you should have given me a like. And you're telling me I didn't sign the logbook. I've just solved this big ass problem, man. What do you mean by you didn't sign the logbook? Give me my like. Give me an emoji. I want hearts to float across the engine room. Right? This is something that is something I talk about when I talk about mental well-being. What happens when you scroll? So I'm an engineer. I'm also a trader. And I'm a chartist. For me, the chart matters. The chart matters and the chart never lies. When you scroll, your mood swings violently. Let me tell you what I mean by this. You see something funny, right? Then you may see something emotional, something sad, something which will give you envy, something that is heartwarming. You start crying, right? And then body shaming or something like that. And tell me something. In the old movies, have you ever noticed how they depicted a person who went crazy? Can anyone remind me? How did they depict? Tell me.
Panic, like laughter, then sadness.
Laughter, sadness. Right? Thank you so much. In the old movies, I remember, when they wanted to depict the person is gone, lost their nuts, the person would be and there's a Nana Patekar gif also where he's running on the beach and he's laughing and he's crying at the same time. Look at the chart here. Put these emotions on a chart, ladies and gentlemen. There is joy, up. There is anxiety. There's envy. There's warmth. There's shame. Look at your chart. Look at this. What's happened? What's happened? Everyone's fallen into this well. They've fallen into this trap. You've become the crazy person from the old Hindi movies. Sorry, I'm not trying to say you're all crazy, but anyone is crazy. But I'm just trying to say, try to imagine after about 10 minutes of scrolling at 60-second videos, how does your chart look? You're perfect for that Hindi movie. Yeah? And have you noticed that you're breathing harder? You're hyperventilating sometimes. You're breathing slowly. You're holding your breath. Try to notice your muscles have tensed. And here we're talking about youngsters. At least here we are all, older people. We have control. We can control ourselves. Here you're speaking to people who are young kids. You kids, youngsters. You're born and brought up in this kind of an environment where you are completely, I would not say insane, but imagine what has happened to you neurologically. Have you seen what happened in Nepal and Bangladesh recently? Those some gens, they came out on the streets. Now you tell me, if their graph is like this, can Can you blame them for coming out on the streets in this kind of a rampant manner? They're completely bonkers, right? Imagine you're putting such people on the vessel. You're putting these people on the vessel. The cycle of these videos is repeating 100 times a day, hundreds of times in a day. And you've got these kids coming on board the vessel, right? Of course, the phone is always our escape, right? The phone has always been our escape. When things got uncomfortable, boredom, loneliness, anxiety, sadness, what happens? You go on the phone, right? You start scrolling. Let me get away from my problems. Let's look at something fake. Let's look at something else. Mental resilience and emotional strength are not given. They are earned by sitting with discomfort, working through it, and discovering that you are capable of surviving. How many of the great ideas have been found in a shower? One guy was in a bathtub, right? And he found out something great. Remember the Eureka moment. When you are in silence, you can think, you can introspect, right? If someone is constantly getting input, I would say entertainment level, when are they going to give output? They can't, because they are so used to getting input. How can they give anything output, right? What happens when they come on the ship? Output, right? There is output. The cargo pump won't start. Hostile senior, away from home, like Mr. Rajat said. 6 months away. Everyone you love, girlfriend be whatever, girlfriend be gaya, main engine failure, man overboard drill, suddenly 1600 hours. These are not extraordinary events. This is a normal part of life. And these guys who are used to getting entertained, likes and emojis, they're like foxed. What the hell is happening? I'm not getting anything in my favor. I'm just working. What the hell? These guys online are just freaking out. And I'm working. But maybe they are, but there's fake Lambos. Sorry, but I keep believing that. Question of commitment. What does social media tell all of you online, these kids? What is social media telling you? Overnight success, built on being seen, like this person here. Instant reward. This is very critical, ladies and gents. Instant reward. You like what they said, you like the selfie, like it. Instant, finish, matter is closed. It's not like I want to become a chief engineer. So I started 20 years ago, and now today I'm a chief engineer after cleaning all kinds of things and doing all kinds of stuff. Now I became a chief engineer. Nobody liked me and nobody gave me emojis. I got not even a thank you when I signed off from the ship ever. Correct? Right? I'm trying to exaggerate, but how many of us say thanks to the third engineer? Boss, thank you so much. Yeah, great. Thank you. You got your flight tickets. Thanks so much. They're like confused. Boss, I did all these things for 6 months. I didn't get a thank you. Something not right here. No likes. C career, very different. Slow earned progression. And social media has made patience feel like a punishment. Yeah, just take 2 minutes. Many youngsters are not leaving because the career is hard. They are leaving because they are not getting this immediate reward. Immediate reward. Okay. What is the consequence? Early contract abandonment, emotional breakdown, inability to function, and it's a resilience deficit. Okay. How many minutes do I'm already over? Cadet on 6 of watch. Lost sleep at night. Why? The guy is still scrolling. With or without the internet, he's still scrolling on whatever he has. He's still scrolling. I think you guys may have seen this. Of course, I know because my kids don't have the Wi-Fi. I see them scrolling without the internet. And I'm like, what are you looking at? You have to put off the Wi-Fi. Oh, but there is something here, I can look at it. So, I didn't really win too much. Anyway, so they're scrolling, they're neurologically not right. And then they've come for watch. They can't really function. They can't focus. They can't, think straight. I'll just rush through now. Let's get back to the social media platform. It is engineered for addiction, right? There are engineers and psychiatrists who've chosen the attention span, the colors for the background. The blue color is hypnotic, it keeps you there. Things like that. It's a fake world and it kind of destroys you. This is not a generational problem nor a parenting failure. It's a design outcome that we are absorbing. We are absorbing these consequences as parents, as manning agents. We are trying to absorb these consequences. What can we do about this? Digital literacy in maritime education. Show cadets exactly how these platforms are engineered. Right? Psychiatrists came together. Right? They said this is the attention span. These are the colors for the background. Things like that. Variable rewards, likes, emojis. This is all designed to keep you there, to keep you trapped. Right? Youngster who is understanding all this would be much harder to manipulate. Please understand, ladies and gents, these youngsters are very, very sharp and very clever. Their intelligence is super, absolutely. They just need to be pulled out of here, because right now if you ask me for one word about it, it is addict. These are designed, they've spent billions of dollars to make you addicted. Okay. Structure and offline time and training. Not as a punishment, but as deliberate resilience building. Silence and boredom are training grounds, not problems to be solved. And I had suggested in the last council meeting to ban internet. I've said this to many institutes. Ban internet on board ban the internet in your, institutes. Don't give them the internet. It's poison. It's addiction. Okay. Build discomfort tolerance deliberately. Physical challenges, problem solving under pressure and team tasks with real consequences. I would like to say, don't make this any virtual kind of a exercise where they go on a PC or a device. Make it real. Let them play sports. Let them play, these team games that are, around nowadays. They can do that. Senior officer who understands this. So we need seniors. But the problem is everybody seems to be addicted nowadays. So which senior is going to take charge and explain all this to an addict? Please understand, these people are addicts. Okay? Talk about it in the pre-departure briefings in colleges and stuff like that. And lifestyle changes and probiotics. Research has shown that Human Health Secretary RFK Jr. has reiterated probiotics found in fermented foods like sauerkraut and changing your lifestyle can build a much better human being who can get away from anxiety, stress, and these distractions. I'll just stop here. Thanks, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for that very in-depth session. Compulsive checking, new language. These are the things which we have been brought to light. And I also agree. Today, real world has invaded our real world. Just my colleague reminded me another example which happens. Many a times, some of us or some of them go to places in nature to find peace. And when we go there, we keep checking our phones, we keep updating statuses, we keep clicking, and we are still searching for peace. Our next speaker is Mr. Rommel Tiwari, Training Superintendent, Nautic Fleet. Mr. Rommel comes with a strong blend of seagoing experience, cadet development leadership, and maritime training expertise. He was selected by Maersk for the sponsored dual cadet program and completed sea time in both deck and engine streams before continuing on the deck side. He later worked as a regional cadet manager with V-ships and was involved in marine simulator training before joining Nautic Fleet, where he currently manages training and promotes mental health awareness initiatives for seafarers. He holds a BE in Marine Engineering an MBA in Logistics and Supply Chain Management, and is currently pursuing PhD in Management Studies. His work focuses strongly on the preparedness and well-being of young cadets entering shipboard life. He will now speak on the realities of shipboard life, preparing cadets for transition, hierarchy, fatigue, and setbacks at sea. Please put your hands together to welcome Mr. Romel Tiwari. Even we, sometimes when we are waiting for the team to work out on it, I could see many of us bringing out our phones. Even when we are working, even I don't know, something is gone, you will put your hand in your pocket and you will try to see whether someone is calling or someone is messaging you. Somehow, even though we are talking about cadets, even we are involved in that same thing. And many a times, I see from my child, I have two young kids, and they will try to copy exactly what their father or your mother or their grandfather is doing. So somewhere down the line, before we guide our students, our future, somewhere we will also have to be strong enough to cut off our phone for more time. In between, one company, when it visited IMS, it insisted that cadets should maintain their screen time. And we also started enforcing that on those cadets. Every month, we are monitoring their screen time. They have to bring their mobile, show the screen time, on what they have spent. And let's say one day they have spent a little bit more, then they should have an explanation for that. Why that day, what exactly they did. And today's phones with that well-being software, you can get all the details. Everything is possible today. Even though, like sir was mentioning about the reels, even if you cut off the net, they are scrolling. Why? Because all those social media platforms are one step ahead of us. They know their parents are going to do this. So what they do, the app is downloading every reel, some seconds it is downloading and keeping. So what is happening, when he's scrolling, he's getting around few seconds of that reel, which he can see without the internet, because it is already downloaded inside. So it is planning, it wants, every social media platform wants the user to be hooked on his platform, rather than he jumping from one platform to another. And that's the reason they are, I will not say one step, they are, I think, many steps ahead. We also could not, catch up with that. Even though once upon a time, we will tell, in fact, my mother, when I was young, I remember, she was telling me, why are you watching TV for so long? Today, she is the one who is hooked with the TV series, So many a times we have to keep an eye for it. Thank you. Sir, the stage is yours.
Thank you. Good evening. Nice to see a lot of familiar faces. We are pressed with time, so I'll make it quick. My topic today is the realities of shipboard life. I'll start with an example. So we do a lot of trainings on risk assessment during our safety sessions, and Nevin has helped me out with a lot of my training material, which we tell the seafarers. Yeah. Okay. So let me start with a story. I have a 1.5 year old toddler, and he's always running around the house, as you know. If I give you a situation, all of you, if you have to come from the metro to the hotel today, let's say, would you walk in the middle of the road? No. What is the risk? Being hit by a car, bus, whatever it is, right? So we usually walk on the footpath, and if it's occupied by vendors, we walk wherever it's possible towards the edge of the road, right? But does the toddler know that if I leave him on the street now, he'll run up and down everywhere, right? He doesn't have the understanding or the informal risk assessment that we do. It's happening at the back of our minds, right? Why? Because when we were young, somebody has taught us. Parents, grandparents, whatever, elders. Same way, today it's our responsibility as the industry to help the younger generation navigate through the challenges they face in today's generation. Right? So first few slides, I'll talk about the challenges that they face. And after that, we'll get into how we can get over it and eventually where we stand as the industry. So the first shock, from shore to ship. You know, while you are there in your at your parents' place when you're 18, 20, just young adult who has completed 12th standard, you have a set routine, you know, wake up at so and so time, lunch, dinner, whatever, pampered by parents and everything. Then you come to hostel life, usually for your pre-C. But when you go on board, it's a completely different environment. There are unfamiliar routines, the living is very confined, you are under constant observation by the seniors and away from home, right? So the cadets arrive ready for the task because they have gone through rigorous training, as Alvin sir has already told us. You know, they are ready with the technical expertise, but are they mentally ready? Maybe not. The next challenge that they have is the fear of seniors. Here is where we come into picture as seniors. See, respect is essential, but silence is dangerous. Most of the time they fear. Now a young cadet on the bridge or in the engine room, let's say they want to, they're on the bridge, okay, deck cadet. And he has to learn something with the radar. Now whether he will ask question to the senior, to the captain who is there, maybe not. Why? Because he will fear that I'll be asked questions. Why didn't you learn it before? Did you not know this? Go and find out. That's the typical answer they get. So generally they try not to ask too many questions, you know, keep quiet, stay under the radar, and you have your day over. That way, when they learn, when they become the third officers or second officers, then they try to silence certain errors, you know, something, little mistake here and there during whatever it is, passive planning or when they're doing their navigational duties. If they make small errors, they try to hide it. And this hiding goes on until there are major accidents, right? So what we try to do is keep our voice professional. When I deal with cadets, I tell them, do we have that stop the job culture on board? Yes, we do. Do you emphasize it at times? Maybe not. Why? So how am I going to tell the captain if he's chief officer or chief engineer or anybody on board, a senior on board, that you're not wearing your PP when you're supposed to do the task? I say you can do it, but it has to be done in a professional manner. The tone matters, the way you tell it matters. Again, one more challenge that cadets face today, sleep challenges, and I'm not going to go much in details because I think Anand has covered a lot of it because of internet available on board and social media. So basically sleep is affected, which is affecting the general overall well-being of the cadets. Okay, this also is a factor to take in when cadets are going first time at sea. They are in the cabin, the space is limited, they are lonely, they are away from home. You know, they go in, and nowadays also there is very less recreation, I would say. After 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, whenever the dinner's over, what does everyone do on board? Go to their cabins and start scrolling. Nobody is spending time in the smoke room or in the common spaces where they used to. People are not playing games like table tennis or whatever they would previously, or spend time in the smoke room just chit chatting. That's not happening anymore. So they are all there in the cabin in a small confined space, which is affecting their mental health. And it's hard when you get some message or something which is very not nice. There's some news from home. Your uncle is not well. Somebody has been hospitalized. In earlier days, when you used to have letters or emails, it used to take a lot of time before it gets to you, right? So by the time you get the first letter, the second one has already arrived that he was hospitalized and he's out and he's okay. But now it's instant. Okay, uncle is not feeling well. We are taking him to the hospital. Doctor's not come in. He's going to the operation theater. This, that. Stress is building up with every single message because they are there in that confined space. Okay, so what do we do? What's the solution? So there are people who like to sing, bathroom singers. Some of you might be here. Sometimes if you are feeling sad or like Anand was saying about girlfriends, receiving some news, then I sing the song, Tadap, okay, is dil se, and it goes on. Try to vent it out. So I tell the cadets, whenever I talk about mental resilience, about sing, watch movies together, write, draw, play together, or go to the gym, whatever suits you. Inculcate a hobby which will calm you down. There's mindfulness, meditation, yoga, and other things which is not added to the list. But there are a lot of things that you can do on your own or together with the others on board. And this is very important. There are small rituals of togetherness which make hard days easier. Sometimes when you're on deck and you see an OS, usually he's very talkative and he's moving around, saying hi, hello to everyone. But one fine day, he's a little low. Means something is wrong. It's just a matter, go and ask him, hey, what's wrong? Maybe you don't have to give him a solution, but the thing is that he's venting out. He's talking about his problem. Okay, this happened to my wife. I have some financial problem, this, that, whatever it is. That way he's venting out his team. So what do we have to do for that? We have to prepare for minds, not only skills, right? We said earlier also, we are teaching them a lot of technical things. Now we need to get them prepared for C by having seminars like this and inculcating it in their curriculum as well. Shivram sir, thank you for this seminar because this is raising awareness on mental resilience, which is very important. That's the definition of, not definition, but AI generated image about resilience. Yeah, what it says is the ability to pick yourself back up and move forward after challenges. It's grit and determination. It doesn't mean that you're not going to have a hard day. It doesn't mean you're not going to have tough life on ship. It's even tougher now with social media and other things that have come in. And you are expected a lot more, So how do we stay resilient at sea is stay teachable, stay connected, stay steady. What does that mean? Teachable. Be open to learning things. We also, when we are talking about industry experts, as well as the seniors on board, the masters, chief engineers, everyone should be teachable to a certain point. Every day is a new learning, I say. Try to learn something new. Mental resilience and the dangers associated with it are something that we need to be very accommodative of. A strong seafarer is one who can struggle and still come back steady. Okay, I'm going to sum it up now. So I call this the resilience fulcrum. There are going to be stress and challenges in various forms, whether it is bad news from home, whether it's loneliness, whether it's fatigue, you're not getting enough sleep. That's on one side. On the other side, you have certain positive outcomes. Something that you have achieved, something that you have done previously, some good comment, some a verbal affirmation or a verbal praise by someone, you have those good things on the other end. And that's where you should focus on and try to move the fulcrum the way you want it to. Okay. So resilience is a balance scale. And there are a lot of other things that the transition shop talk about when cadets go out at sea. The digital isolation, the fatigue, sleep loss, over apologizing. Most of the time it's my way or the highway when it comes to, especially senior masters, chief engineers. It will always be like, you don't know this? Why you don't know this? Go find out. So we need to also take a look at it ourselves. You have to prioritize connection, reframe the adversity as growth, and manage human factors. So I ask this question to each one of you. What is it, or how will you recover this week? Because resilience is recovery. We are all going through something. Mental stress, or the mind. Mind is something that you can't see. Mind, how do you define it? Physical health, at least you understand, right? Hands, limbs, bones, structure, tissue, blood. That is your physical health. Mental health, thoughts and feelings. So we all go through something on an everyday basis, but the ability to bounce back is what's important. And this question is for each one of us, and I'll leave you with it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for those wonderful words. Instant information, building stress is another key takeaway from this session. And thank you for sharing your expertise, which is very valuable for us. Next, I would like to take this opportunity to extend a very warm welcome to Ms. Pooja Rawat on joining the Institute of Maritime Studies, Goa, as a placement advisor. Everyone, please put your hands together. Her contribution is enormous. Ms. Pooja Rawat is a maritime training and development specialist with over 25 years of experience in career development, training, recruitment, gender diversity, and seafarer wellness. She even does communication skills. Her contribution to more vibrant, resilient, and inclusive maritime community. Today, ma'am will speak on mental resilience and human error. Ma'am, the stage is yours.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for being here today. I can see a lot of familiar faces, and I wish I know everyone who's here. And I thank you for all the support you have been giving me through all these years. And thank you, IMS Goa, also for actually trusting me and entrusting me with this placement advisor, what they call it. Though I was a bit apprehensive about it, but I am going to do it my way and adding a dash of my own flavor to whatever profile has been given to me. And I will answer the question what Rajat had put forward about cadets when he takes from IMS Goa. IMS Goa, I know we have been taking cadets from here a lot, and they are doing a wonderful job. But I'm going to add my flavor to it. And the question which you asked about being mentally resilient, getting cadets who understand what resilience is, and giving them something about responsibility, accountability. So you'll be getting cadets who are a total package. So it's not only cadets once they're placed is the responsibility of the company. It's always going to be our responsibility too. I've been working with cadets for almost 2 decades. And this is something for me, it's like a payback time. And I will give to the industry and to the cadets whatever insights and tools I have gathered over the years. I think which is very important for the cadets when they go on board. well equipped with how to manage stress and what is mental resilience. So I heard what Rajat said, I heard what Mr. Anand said, and it looks like we have a pain point here, and that is, what's the pain point? Social media. So it was more about social media. I think social media is the pain point, and so we all are coming out in different ways talking about it. So what do you think is mental resilience? What is it? Is it theory or is it practical? Okay, how would you define mental resilience? A simple definition. We have talked so much about it now. I'm the last speaker. How would you define mental resilience? How are seafarers going to be mentally resilient on board? Can you remove the pressure? No. Can you remove the pressure from on board? No. So what can you do? What can you do? You have to, okay, he is stuck on Wi-Fi, but you need to manage the seafarers. That is what is resilience. So resilience is not something which is theory. It is something which is to be practiced every day. So we all agree on one thing, right? Technical skill alone is not enough. What is required is mental resilience, which is going to decide whether you are going to work safely on board or whether you're going to create a disaster on board. So what is mental resilience now? What do you think it is now? We are going to talk about building mental resilience. Keep the social media pain point separate. For seafarers, what is the mental resilience on board? In simple layman's language, what do we call it? Ability to sustain, yes. Mental strength. And how does that come? Do you read books for it?
No, to be prepared is what you're getting into.
So how do we do it? How do we...
Tell them the dark side of it. Don't sell the dreams.
Do we tell them or do we practice it?
No, you tell them so they are ready. You don't sell them only dreams. You tell them the hard, dark side of it. And still they want to join, take up the sea career and tell them the families also.
Okay, how are you going to create a mentally resilient seafarer or a mentally resilient individual? Okay, I get this a lot when I go for my trainings with senior officers. Oh, we have done this before. We have been in this field for 2 decades. What's new? What's new? We have survived it. We have survived this. So, is the word survival right? Are you surviving it?
No.
Do you want to survive it? What do you want to do?
Try.
Yes, yes, you have to have a quality life on board. So if there are training programs or if there are insights and tools which we can provide or anybody else can provide, what is going to happen? You are going to start building mental resilient individuals. It's about a practice each day. Are you, like what Rajat said, are you responding or are you reacting? Are you stressing out or are you managing stress? I had an online session with one of the vessels on human factors and human element, and we were talking about human error. So there was this one seafarer who was on board, and he told me something which stayed with me for a long time. He said, ma'am, being mentally strong, being mentally resilient is not an option on board. It's a requirement. Every seafarer on board, there are 21 of us on board. Each one has a specific task. Each one has a specific function, and it's like a chain reaction. Any link in the chain, if it malfunctions or weakens, what happens? What does it give rise to? Yes, it gives rise to a breakdown. It gives rise to an maybe an unsafe environment. It gives rise to a unsafe condition. Because if one chain is not working, if one link is not working, the other link is physically overloaded and something we call as mental overload, which will bring us back to what we all talked about: fatigue, stress, demanding long hours, isolation, which are the causes of human error. So human error is not technical. Do we agree that mistakes are committed not because a person doesn't know what to do? Is it about competence? Is it about competence? Do you make mistakes because you are not competent on board? It happens because you are in a compromised state of mind. You are not focused. You are in a state of mind, maybe you are in an anger state of mind, or you are in a sad state of mind, or you are too happy state of mind, and your decision making is directly impacted. And that is going to impact the safety on board. Do we agree on that? Yes. So mental resilience is not a theory. It's something how you are going to build. So we need to equip our cadets how to build, how to be mentally resilient, how to build up the strength. How are we going to do it? Well, and it's not only for seafarers, I think it's for each one of us how to be mentally resilient. Am I right? Am I right? Yes. Okay, I'm going to give you my example now. It's very simple. I think most of you know that I have gone through a cancer treatment, and I had a relapse in 2025 again. I had two options. Option number one, anger, resentment, revenge. Option number two, strength. In fact, I had no option. So when you have no option, what do? You fight. So you fight back. So because I had no option, I cannot be angry anymore. I cannot be frustrated anymore. If I had to win this battle, I had to be strong enough to go through my treatment again. And I did that. I started becoming mentally resilient. I suddenly became emotionally intelligent because I had no other way out. I didn't have any way out. So sometimes you don't have an option. So you become strong, and that is the way, that becomes your habit every day then. And that is the way the battle is won. And that is what brought me out of it again. So how are you going to do that? How are you going to see that the cadets are mentally resilient? Everyday habits, toolbox meeting. You have safety meetings, you have toolbox meetings. What is to be done every day? How are you going to see that small things which they do every day is building up a habit? They have to be strong each day. Like whatever they said about social media, you have to make a habit about it. Do I respond or do I be reactive? Do I manage stress or do I take stress? What are we going to do? So that is what our cadets need to understand, and it's not about theory, it's about putting it in practice. So you can put it into practice each day when you're talking to cadets or when you're talking to seafarers, when you're on board. Make it a habit each day to see that mental resilience is not a theory, it's a practice you practice every day on board. There's one more thing it's very important. The question is, we already know the real question about stress, about mental resilience. How do we manage it is now what is important. So how do you think we are going to manage it? Can you show the slide? Yeah. So are you going to remove the pressure or keep the pressure there? And how are you going to make the cadets or the seafarers more mentally resilient? How are you going to do it? As a leader, as a master, as a chief engineer, you set the culture on board. Is that right? Yes. Is that right? Yes. So in a risky behavior, your behavior is going to set the tone of the culture for the next 6 months. This is the way the chief engineer behaves. This is the way the master behaves. And now that is the culture on board. He responds to everything. He is not reactive. He manages stress. He doesn't take stress. And in the small moments, mental resilience is built. So instead of asking what went wrong, what can we ask? What can we ask instead of asking what went wrong? How do we stay right? Can we ask that? Can we ask that? Will it make a difference? Will it? Yes, it will. Because mental resilience is not a wellness add-on. It is a measurable safety input. So whatever we have talked about were factors which are leading to being mentally not strong. So what as leaders can you do so that you see that your seafarers are mentally strong on board? You cannot remove the pressure, that's for sure, right? You're going to have isolation, you're going to have extreme conditions, you're going to have demanding work hours, you're going to have social media on board. Everything is going to be there. And still, you have people who are complaining about mental well-being, physical well-being. So what's going to happen? How are we going to... Is it going to be theory? Is it only going to be talking about mental resilience? Or can you do something else about it? Theory is not going to get us anywhere. Theory is not going to get us anywhere. What is important is we need to put these small habits into practice. Like Captain Rajat has said, blame fixes nothing, right? You need to respond, you don't need to react. So all these small things are going to build up habits each day, and it has to be practiced in everyday work on board. Whether you're doing drills, whether you're doing safety meetings, whether you're doing toolbox meetings, all these small things which are actionable, if done each day, is going to become a habit. And this is the way we are going to build up mental resilience. So I think what we need to tell our seafarers today is give them tools and give them insights how to build up mental resilience instead of giving them theory. As leaders today, can we do that? Can we? Okay. Yes, definitely. Each one has its own way of dealing with it. So everyone may have different ways to deal with it. What is the output? But you are wanting a win-win situation on board. You are wanting people to be safe on board. You're wanting people to come back safely home, right? So how are you going to go about it? Is it only theory or is it going to be practice? Yes.
As such, a seafarer lives an abnormal social life at board.
Correct.
More social, right? So one would say that, okay, each one has his screen as a friend, dear friend these days. Bring them together.
See together, yes. Go to the mess room. Go and see a movie together, yes.
Even they enjoy together.
So this is something which is not going to happen overnight, okay? Because people have long forgotten how to sit together, how to have human interaction, right? The moment your job is finished and you have your rest hours, you go back to your cabin, and what he said was very right, they keep scrolling and there is no human contact at all. So we need to make it a habit. Maybe initially we need to make it mandatory that you need to come to the mess room, you need to sit together, you need to talk, and slowly, steadily, that is going to become a habit. It's going to take us some time, but if you need to build up mental resilience, it has got to start somewhere. Theory is not going to work. So you have to, as leaders, as masters, as chief engineers, we need to come together to understand what is mentally resilient first of all. And then talk to them about, it's not a theory. It's something you practice each day. And how are you going to do it? That is the culture you are going to set for your ship. So that when you have a win-win situation on board. Okay, I think that's enough, and thank you so much. And I would also request the same support you have been giving me for such a long time as a placement advisor for IMS Goa. Thank you. Oh yes. Okay, we have one more thing. We have been talking about it a lot. I want to show you a small visual of when you take a decision when you're in an agitated mind and when you are in a calm mind. Can I have 2 minutes, please? Here, attention. Tushar? Okay, Tushar has 2 bottles in his hand. Hold it high. There's a Coke bottle and there is a water bottle. Tushar, can you trigger the Coke bottle? What's going to happen? Trigger it. What's going to happen? burst out. That's an agitated state of mind. That's anger. Just try to visualize how it looks like when you're in a state of mind which is compromised. Taking decisions when you are drunk, or taking decisions when you are angry, taking decisions when you are sad or when you're too happy. This is going to happen. And what about that? Shake it. What's going to happen to the calm state of mind? Nothing. The outside external triggers are really not going to make any difference to it. That is the difference between an agitated mind and when you take a decision with a calm mind. This is the visualizing of everything what we have talked about. This is what is going to happen. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Today I have known many things, knowing from where you get your strength and how small habits can make a difference. And the display of those two bottles, is a very good example. I hope our students watching take the note of it and, keep that thing in mind. Whenever they need it to be remembered and they can use the same thing. Our last speaker for the evening. Now I'd like to invite Shri Deepak Shah, former Director, Institute of Maritime Studies, Goa, to deliver his talk on Navigate Your Inner Self. Sir has had a distinguished career as a marine engineer, sailed on oil tankers, served as a chief engineer, and later as a deputy director and director at IMS Goa, where he trained and mentored hundreds of marine engineers. He is currently associated with Brahma Kumaris and is involved in Raj Yogya, meditation, promoting peace and inner strength. Sir, we request you to please address the gathering.
Nice to see all of you all. What does this remind us with? Just now, showed. Huh? You should not have thumbs up. Otherwise, pressure will build up. And you should not take a decision after drinks. Whatever you have to take, you have to take it now. So I am pleased to be here and going to be seeing all of you. And I have to thank Shivram and the IMS team for having me here. Let's look at some of the ways where we can get away with our worries. So flag off our worries. How many of you remember the first shift experience, which is not a very good one? Anybody can raise the hand, which was not very good, where your engineer, your master or the chief officer didn't do what you wanted. If we can forget or we can still remember. So there was a person, my good friend Dr. Sachin Parab, he used to work in the ICU, and one of the days when he visited the ICU, he found one gentleman about 65 years old with terminal illness, and he was crying. So he went up to him and said, what is happening? I mean, why are you crying? So he's saying, जो मुझे करना था इस जन्म में वो मैंने नहीं किया. तो बोलते तो फिर क्या करना था? नहीं, जो मुझे करना था वो मैंने नहीं किया. तो बोलते क्या करना था? बोलते मेरे को अच्छी तरह से सबसे बात करना था. I should have talked nicely. Then why you didn't do so? No, I had ego. The most important part is when the last moment of our life comes, the whole screen comes in front of us where we have to pay for every moment which we did. So first and foremost, forgive and forget. 90% of us don't forgive and forget. That's why we land up with terminal illness. Forgive and forget means whom do you forget? Some of the times we can't forgive somebody who may have passed away, or somebody who is we don't want to talk to. We know of the 5 regrets, the book written and the story being written. So very important for us is to tend to forgive and forget. So we'll go through a video afterwards. The second part, the full stop. We don't end the thing which has happened in the past with putting a full stop. We continue with a question mark or a comma, or we continue repeating it to many people. So I think somewhere we need to put a full stop. Second part is the love, the shortage of love which we have today, whether it's between the people at the sea and the shore or the ships, personal with the juniors, somewhere down the line leads to the number of hospitals increasing in the country or in the world has always been multiplying. Do you mean to say the patients have increased or the hospitals have only increased? Anybody? Patients? That means we all are sick. And why are we sick? Just because we are lacking love. We need to have love for each other or the human beings. For we have our karmic accounts. Why we live together, we meet together, we spend our life together. Just we are settling our karmic accounts. So we need to be very careful how we are going to settle it. Something down the line we always feel is that I don't have time, I don't have money, I don't have health. I don't have. We are only attracting what we manifest. We have to attract what is actually positive. So the positive part of it we have to play with, not the negative. So contentment, very important for us. So we have to let go of these particular vices. One of the most important thing is the gratitude. I think somewhere down the line we have been forgetting that we need to thank people for whatever happened to us. We have two accounts. One of the account is our salary account where money comes in. And the second one is the dua or the blessing account. If we don't have the blessing account strong enough and we suffer with a serious illness and we have crores of rupees in our bank account, but the doctor will say, dua mango. That's where that dua ka account works out. So be very careful, whatever good deeds we do to or whatever people appreciate or thank us, similarly if you build up that thanks to others, so gratitude will be helpful. So you can do thanks for the various things which can God, to the parents, to the friends, 5 elements, to God for a healthy body. The past was good, the present is better, and the future is going to be the best. The most important part is we always get stuck in the past and we keep remaining in the past. We all talk about our past, we never talk about the present. So you can make positive affirmations, happy soul, peaceful soul, capable soul. Every morning, every evening or every night before we go to sleep, we have to energize our soul. The soul is one which controls our body. Until now, we always been talking about our physical self. We need to move to a soul level. Of course, spoken about digital care which we can take. Most important part which I could say would be meditation, because unless you silence the disturbance which is coming around us, we are not going to go any further. We are only going to suffer more. Make problems bigger, and bigger problems should become slowly smaller. We have to make it small. Only what we can control, I think this is the only best way we can think about. I just put a 5-minute video. I think we need to listen to it. I think a time you can just relax. I think sit back, keep your spine straight. We have to visualize what is being told. Start realizing and experience. You can do your with the eyes open or the eyes closed.
Good morning. Aches and pains in the mind. Blockages of emotions radiate to the body and create blockages or pain in the body. Release the emotional blockage to heal your body. Sit back and visualize cleaning your thoughts and radiate healing energy to your body. I am a loveful being. I love myself. I take care of my mind. I take care of my body. I take this moment to look at all that I have been holding on to, which was toxic for my mind and for my body. People's words which were rude, behaviors which were unfair, expectations which were not met, my own failures, regret and guilt of my mistakes. It's time to clean my mind and heal my body. Their words and behaviors reflect their personality. Everything they said and did was about them. It was not about me. I release their behaviors. There is no space on my mind for their mistakes. I hold on to all the good they have done for me. I have learned from my mistakes. I delete them. I love myself. I bring out the best in me. Past is past. It's over. I radiate love and happiness to my body. I see all the blockages in my body dissolve. Aches and pains are healed. I am happy and healthy always. Repeat this affirmation 3 times and visualize your body responding to the positive vibrations it receives. Remind yourself during the day, I release people's behaviors. My mind is clean. My body is healthy.
Thank you. And anybody needs to learn meditation, you can go to Brahma Kumari Center close to your home. Please learn meditation. We all need it for our own health. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for that insightful session. Next, we will have a panel discussion, which will be chaired by Captain Dr. Shashank Jahangir, Managing Director, Country Head, MTM Ship Management Private Limited. Captain Dr. Shashank Jahangir is a seasoned maritime executive with over 35 years of industry experience. He has an extensive experience in vessel operations, crew management, fleet maintenance, and regulatory compliance. He has worked with major organizations such as Maersk Tankers, and Synergy Marine, where he executed growth strategies and managed large-scale maritime operations. He earned his doctorate from MIT University for research on fuel optimization and vessel efficiency and has published research papers. He also serves on board of directors at MASA and is part of Maritime India Vision 2030 committee contributing towards development of maritime sector. Sir, we are honored to have you here today to chair this panel discussion. I would also requesting sir to please join the dais. I will also request all our speakers to kindly come on the stage and take their seat for panel discussion. Please put your hands together. Captain Rajat Katuria, Mr. Anand D'Souza, Mr. Romel Tiwari, Ms. Pooja Rawat, and Mr. Deepak Shah.
Hi, good evening, lady and gentlemen. I am aware of the fact that we are standing between you and the bar, so we will ensure that we do it, rightly. Kamath sir has given me this task of, leading the panel discussion. I can see that we already have about 42 questions, so I don't think we will be able to cover. Yeah, I got it. Thanks. We will be able to complete or cover all the questions, but probably we will see how many we can finish. Yes, remaining we can discuss during the drinks also.
So I will suggest, if I may, we can discuss the most popular ones which are liked more. So that's the reason sir was giving you the mobile.
Sorry. Yeah. Please, can you share it?
So that we can, it is kind of shortlisting or where more people are having same doubts.
Perfect. The first question is, and of course, please feel free to ask questions if you have any. I'll start with the first question. How to handle the fear of not performing up to the mark as a beginner on board, and what are the best ways to balance our work schedule as beginner? So probably I will start with Rajat. If you can just throw some light. Probably this question is coming from cadet who wants to know how to, as a beginner, how he can cope up with those challenges.
I think everyone had that fear of not performing, but as a cadet, we always tell that that's the learning phase. So the expectations also should be set right. As long as the attitude is right to learn, that's more than what as a company, as a seafarer on board, I suggest all the seafarers, all the cadets especially, that you are not the one who will be trained. Once you are on board, it is the opportunity when you are on board to get trained. So that's, I think, the answer to this question. I mean, the fear will always be there, but also on board the people should understand that the cadet is there for the training. This is a training period. We should not set an expectation that he is coming completely trained, he knows everything, and that's his learning phase. So I mean, the right attitude.
Absolutely. I think that's the time he has to learn. So, it's all learning time during that. The next question is on the communication, which probably I will ask Anand to address. How to overcome the communication barrier and get along with the group of crew members with common regional roots.
Right. So communication, basically, it is a very complicated thing actually if you go to see, because everybody has their own opinion and everybody has a different perspective. I always give a simple example of Baskin Robbins ice cream. They've got 31 flavors. All of them are great, but you need 31 because somebody thinks vanilla is the best and someone thinks chocolate is the best. Communication is something like that. You want to interact with somebody, but his perception of what you say may be something different than what you're trying to say, get across to him. But I would say the best way is always to try and have an icebreaker, some common point of reference. Like if you say Indians, cricket, maybe cricket something, or nowadays I dare not say about politics, some common point, and then take it from there and see how it goes very carefully. And I think most companies have got this buddy culture there, and this buddy can also be used as a mediator. And I think somewhere in the question it said people from common regions.
Correct.
So that makes it even much easier, where you have a lot of common points to connect with. Where are you from? Food, festivals, things like that. I think an icebreaker, and the main thing is to go with an open mind. Like somebody said, attitude, right? Rajat said attitude. So I think the main thing is that perspective, that when you go in, you're going with an open mind. You are expecting the other person to be someone who wants to be a friend with you.
Absolutely. Thank you. The next question I will ask Deepak sir, because I know it is his favorite topic. The question is, what is the importance of emotional strength when it comes to the daily routine of onboard operations? Can I repeat the question?
I'm out of the operations.
Yeah, but I think emotional strength probably you can touch upon.
I think everybody who goes down to the engine room first thinks that he's going alone. Like all of us come by car or something alone. So I think one of the things which we propagate to tell is to make sure that you're not alone. You have somebody with you, and that's the supreme power which is there with you. So if you build up that, take the positive affirmations, so surely your resilience power is higher. And I feel for a cadet who is going out to sea, he has to learn all these factors before going on board and having these problems. Because we had about a year and a half back, one of the cadets was missing from ship and still missing. So if a person is still missing, so he must have taken some decision at one moment of time because of whatever reasons. So I feel somewhere his strength can only be built when at childhood nobody is taught it, and later on we want to teach him at a certain level. I think it's better to do it before he goes on board, so he's got his additional power with him.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Pooja ma'am, this is the question for you. How can a young cadet build emotional resilience when facing toxic senior officers? So let's say a cadet going on board, and he will have senior officers who are not so friendly, tough. So how can he manage those situations?
Yeah, this is a
Yeah, we can hear.
This is a question which I think most of the cadets ask me informally. Like, I have a chief officer who is shouting at me, and what am I supposed to do? How do I manage him? So it's all about now again. Now here comes the mental resilience. How whether he's going to respond to it or whether he's going to react to it. So I think at that moment, if it is not harassment and if he thinks he's not being harassed, it's just pure shouting. He has to maybe reflect back on what is the context of his shouting. Maybe he has to look back if he has done something wrong or he could do something better, or maybe the situation in which the chief officer is shouting at him is something which is very volatile and he needs to take a step backwards and wait and respond before being reactive, and be strong enough to think that has the mental strength to understand that this is maybe something I can talk to him, communicate with him and sort it out. I think most of the times cadets are not assertive enough, or they do not want to talk about it for the fear of being backlashed again. So I think it's important that they communicate, because this has happened I have seen these cases, and when people have communicated, cadets have communicated, they have found that they have sorted it out. The most difficult situation was sorted out, and it was just a difference of opinion which was there between the chief officer and the cadet. But once they talked about it and they understood the context, I think that was sorted out. So it's very important to communicate with clarity. That's important.
Right.
Thank you.
I think sir wants to add something.
Very important is that particular incident would remain in mind for the person to continue through his lifetime. It's not going to end there unless you forgive and forget. So it's very, very difficult for the person, like we all could not forget something which we faced, say 30, 40 years back. So somewhere down the line, need to forget and forget. Sometimes it's a karmic account between you and that person whom you are sailing with, it's being solved. But if you are not able to close the account, then it tends to go further, keep multiplying the effect. This is saas bahu ka hota hai, similarly.
All right, thank you.
You have to stop the buck somewhere, no?
Romel, this is a question for you. If a seafarer feels mentally stressed due to workload, what steps should they take?
Yes, and it happens very often. Arrival, departure, there is something going wrong in the engine room, some emergency somewhere. So we always are having this workload, but it's the ability to manage the stress related to work. Once you come back to your cabin, don't go and start scrolling. Get your sleep. You know, like they say, if your phone has a problem, the first thing you do is reset. Yeah. Same way, sleep resets. Do some activity that resets you. Like I had given some examples: read, write, draw, whatever suits you. Yoga, meditation. So reset your body and get ready for the next day.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Kamath sir. There is always a fear or thought that what if I made some mistake and it will not be in a major distress? How to overcome it?
I think as a trainee, when a cadet joins a ship, that is, I mean, it is a person who joins as a cadet has that fear, but as a seniors, we should understand that he's just a cadet and there are bound to be mistakes. We have gone through those phases. We have already made mistakes on our first ship or second ship when either we were reprimanded or supported by the seniors. So that senior has to look at that, as well as the cadet has to understand that he is learning. It is his learning phase. So it should not be taken upon him that he is the one who is running the ship. That has to be made, it has to be clear in his mind. So I think probably in this, the seniors has a bigger role to play to make cadet comfortable in a sense that whenever he is giving some responsible job to the cadet, it should be monitored. I think that's it.
Okay. I think the next question probably you can address better. Sir, how to deal with overthinking related to exams, expectations from friends, family, teachers, etc. How to keep out mind at ease during intense anxiety?
Well, again, it has to be, I think Pooja Madam had covered that topic, that habits has to be developed. You don't prepare for exams at the last moment. It has to be a continuous preparation. If you are covering that subject continuously over a period of time, I think that anxiety doesn't come. Anxiety mostly happens when you prepare at the last moment. And so habit has to be developed to cover the topics, exam topics over a period of time. Maybe whatever is being taught, it has to be mastered when it is taught, and then during exam, if you start revising, that anxiety will not build up. But if you wait for the last moment to tackle some, not only exams, any important event, then that anxiety definitely will build up, even if everything is going your way.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Yes, please.
I think what you asked about thinking and overthinking, there's a very simple explanation to it. What according to me, that is, when we say think something, it's about creating a thought. So if I say think about a mountain, you're all going to think about a mountain. If you think about a river, you're going to think about a river. But when you talk about overthinking, that's not thinking. That's mental diarrhea. And I don't think we should dwell upon that a lot, because that is only going to really cause you a lot of issues which is not going to be sorted out. So think, but don't overthink. That's important.
Yeah. Thank you. I don't know what you think, but whenever I meet Pooja ma'am, I take a lot of energy from her. So thank you so much for that. Before we take the next question, any questions we have on the floor? Yes, please.
Good evening to everybody present here. My name is Kaitan Lobo and I'm from Campbell Shipping. And I think right from when Captain Rajat started his session, I had this thought building up till it consequently kept building up with all the other speakers as well. And I felt it is important to address this because maybe I'm the only one or among the few non-seafarers in this room. I am a psychotherapist by profession, and Campbell gives a good opportunity for me to sail on the ship. Right, so I sail every month on different ships for 15 days, and then I sign off. And when I'm on the ship, I speak to guys, mental health and all of that stuff. And after I'd done a few ships, I went for getting the visa of one of these infamous countries, and I was rejected the visa, right? And one of the questions that the interviewer asked me was, Kaitan, you tell me that you go on the ship and these individuals trust you enough in the span of 15 days and they share and open things with you. And I had no answer, because the reality is that they do, right? The question by itself was not wrong, because I felt and nobody in my practice as well as a therapist, none of my clients come to me and open up to me in the first session, right? But a lot of seafarers do, right? And it makes me wonder that there is so much of a lack of space that seafarers have on board, that the moment they find somebody who comes and sits and says, you know what, I'm here to listen to you, they flood out. They open up so much to you. And it's kind of humbling as well, but very, very revealing, right? And I think that again goes with the next speaker's topic about social media. I think all of us are trying to search for that safe space, right? And when we don't have it among ourselves, we try to find it through different ways. And one of those ways could also be social media. So I think mental resilience, emotional strength, all of these things are built in a very, very safe environment. And my question is general to all of you sitting on the panel there, is even before we start building towards these things, do we think as policymakers that we have the environment for things to build in? Right? Because we might keep planting and planting. This is my issue with people who say, we are going to cut trees, I'm going to plant 1,000 more. Who's going to take care of the growth? Right? So are we only planting, or do we really have an environment to make sure that these plants thrive and survive? Anybody who wants to take that?
Yeah, I think thank you so much for letting us know that you are sailing. I mean, I have come across for the first time someone who is sailing. Really good to know about that. And yeah, so even when I started was telling about the environment. Let's start discussing about this. And thanks to the IMS, for bringing this topic up. So during our time we never heard of this. What is this? Kya hai ye mental resilience? Kya hai ye? Even the family. Something you tell them, nothing, they will just scold us, and so it's something we are talking about now. So that's the industry leaders are here. we are building that environment. So I think this is the best opportunity. The cadets are listening, and this will grow. And really happy to know that you get the opportunity to sail. Thanks. I think Captain Nivin wants to have.
Yeah. Captain Nevin, ask a simple question. Huh?
When the bar will open.
My question is for Captain Rajat.
Yes.
I'm little confused between the difference in human element and human factor. So can you just...
Okay, so Pooja...
I want you to answer. I want you to answer. Pooja, तेरे को chance नहीं दूंगा. तेरे को... I know what you're looking for. So...
Okay, I'll hand over to Pooja.
No. I want you to answer.
So, okay, so you want the difference between the human element?
Yeah, I am not clear on the difference. So if you can elaborate, that would be
So he's just I know. So human factors. When we talk about the human factors, we are talking about the human and organizational performance. We have the 5 principles of the human factors, as in the blame fixes nothing. Second one is that how you respond matters. Then there is context, which sets behavior. And the fourth one is the learning is the vital and the most important. And last one?
Error.
Error is normal. So this, which I started, and it was then other way around. I think the SIRE 2.0 is also taking into account the human element part. They are asking questions now. They are done with the maintenance part. They are done with the other aspects, and now they are just focusing on the human element. Does the person knows the job what he's there to perform on? I think maybe I have been able to a little bit satisfy you. I'll hand over to Pooja maybe.
I have still not understood the difference.
I'll give you a very simple difference if you can understand that, Nivin. Human element is who we are, and human factor is why we behave the way we do. So there are external factors which can induce our behavior, whether why are we behaving the way we're doing on board or even in society or on shore. So you are the person who you are asking questions, and if you're behaving the way you do is something which is triggering it off. That's human factor. Does that clear you, Nivin?
Good. Thank you. How much time we have? We have another. Okay, I'll take a couple of questions more. Any other questions, please?
I'm Vijay Shetty from Bhandarkar Shipping News. I'm the actual non-seafarer here. So I've been attending a lot of events for the past 2 years now that I've been a part of this industry. My question comes from the fact that Ms. Pooja raised about this issue of how to build it. There were 2-3 points that were raised by Mr. D'Souza and also Mr. Kathuria about how the seniors are reacting to the juniors. You also talked about the toxic seniors. So who are going to train them to detoxify and to behave in a natural manner as a human being to the junior officers? Because what will happen is there will be a chain reaction. When these juniors become seniors, they will also start reacting to this in the same manner to the juniors. Am I right about this? So Mr. D'Souza raised about a topic about giving a like to somebody who puts a post on LinkedIn about what he's done on a ship. So I guess these are the bonding issues, bonding things that needs to be done on a ship. And I think that has to come directly from the master or the captain. He should not be trained in doing these things, It should be a natural reaction for him to go and say, "Arey yaar, ye bande ne ye post kiya, chalo, let me give him a like. Let me put a comment." See, when I attend events through Bhandarkar Shipping News, I put a lot of things on my Instagram and Facebook, and I write where I went, what did I do, what was the event, who were the speakers, what did they speak about, and naturally I get some likes. Now, it is maybe out of intent that people do it, or just because they are friends with me on Instagram or Facebook. But there is a certain seriousness when somebody is taking out time to put a like. So I think that chain reaction, starting from the top to the bottom, has to happen. So if anyone of you would like to, kind of delve on that topic, I would be more happy and obliged.
Yeah, thanks so much for that. I think what you have said is very critical in this day and age. We need to show appreciation when someone does something good, and we also need to give appreciation when someone tried to do something, and maybe he didn't really succeed, but you still appreciate him, and you give him the motivation to try again. But as you have said, in the shipping industry, it's a very tough life. And I think it has become less tough. I'll be honest. I was taught as a TME with a hammer by my chief engineer. And I appreciate it. But I think nowadays, if you take out a hammer on somebody, it's. But I mean to say, appreciation can be shown in different ways. And I hope we can have something in our framework where appreciation is actually doled out very freely. Yeah.
So just adding on to this one, shipping a very good thing that the people sign off. After a few months, the maybe the toxic guys sign off, and the other guys come who are better. So less toxic. So I would just like to share one more incident from the emotional part also. So as you said that there may be people who are really toxic. So it was my first vessel. I am very happy to share that Captain Pankaj Naik was my chief officer. So, I had one of the senior cadets who was behaving more like a toxic senior guy. And, there was some hand-holding done by Captain Pankaj. It was a very tough vessel. We were on a chemical tanker type 1. Bay of Biscay, always rolling, pitching. I mean, crazy ship. And it was because of that emotional strength that, Captain Pankaj Naik is sitting there. I would like to, maybe a round of applause for him. So he was the one because, that initial few months, maybe I would have left the shipping because of such a shock which I got. But it was him, who took care of me, gave me that strength that, okay, it happens and, gave me that time. So after him, I found a lot of chief officers, maybe, not allowing me to go for a shore leave also, maybe on the other vessels. So a very good thing in shipping is that you will have a very good person, maybe sometimes a very bad person. I mean, not a bad person, but a harsh guy. And then again, a guy who will take care. So that's the beauty of shipping. Not like in our corporate, we stick together with the same persons. So something, beautiful.
I think when I talked about mental resilience, I did touch upon one more thing was as a leader, as a master, as a chief engineer, you are the culture on board. You are setting the tone of the culture. And you talk something and you do something is not going to set the culture. But if you do something, that's going to become the culture on board. And it's definitely you're going to see it from top to bottom that everybody is going to respond and not be reactive if you do it. But if it's only going to be theory, then it's not going to work. And I think we have to be open to the fact that we have to be open to learning. We have to have more of these seminars. Maybe everything is not important, but we can filter out and we pick up certain things like perceptions or assumptions, how they work on board. And when we are in that situation on board, we definitely reflect back on what was done in such a situation when I learned about it. And maybe we put that into practice again. So if you're not exposed to anything, you are going to deal with it in what you learned. But if you're going to be exposed to new things, new seminars, new programs, I am definite that we are going to pick up a lot of new things, which is going to help the next generation also and us as leaders to improve the culture on board.
Okay.
But you have to be open to learning.
Thank you. I think we have time for one last question.
Not a question, but I can, because I've been in operations for very many decades. Different industries had different requirement. Merchant Navy is a commercial setup. It's an asset which we operate, which are miles away. You can't do micromanagement. There are different seniors with different DNA and different styles of working. You cannot do micromanagement. Now, different industries like armed forces has a prerequisite. You have to have appetite and mental ability to take up that profession. In Merchant Navy, the prerequisite has not been set. And we must do that. Now we have a problem because anybody and everybody who thinks that he can take up a Merchant Navy as a profession is landed on board. Now, is he capable of mentally and otherwise? It's not thought through. Now we are dealing with a problem. There has to be prerequisite mental toughness, as I think the professional person who is selling, he was saying that that has to be tested much before and also with their families. If families keep disturbing the seafarer on board, that's the end game. You cannot handle his mental calmness or serenity on board. It is a team, family and a seafarer. You cannot separate them.
Agree completely. Yeah. I think sir has a last question. Yes.
I'm Alfonso for Vandermeer Shipping. I have been listening to all the speakers. What I want to say about resilience, I don't think you can teach or enforce it. You know, somebody said you should collect the people in the evening and sit down, and no one's going to listen to that. I think it has to be from example.
Yes.
Like, you know, in the morning, I would take like a engine room unmanned, all the engineers come down. That would be a time to put everyone at relaxed mode. Ask them how are you today? Have you had a good sleep? Any issues? Any problem? Okay. After that, put them down at ease and say, okay, let's get down to work. We have this, we have that. We will look into the rest down. That would be an example where you are putting the people at ease. And as you get up now, even if you have a problem, I mean, if you react very badly, that guy is going to look at you. But if you're going to teach him how, no, we have this problem, don't worry, we'll sort it out. Let's get this, let's get that, let's look at this problem. The guy is going to learn how to react to things. So I think it is by example. And that is the seniors on board have to do that. Unfortunately, today seniors don't have time for all this. But we have to train them that please put some 5-10 minutes. I guess 5-10 minutes is enough every day.
Yeah.
Slowly it will happen.
Agree. I think most of the organizations we have something called toolbox meeting in the morning. So what we have done is we have added one point there that before you start the toolbox meeting, it is the leader, chief officer, who has to check and about mental well-being of each crew member before they go on to the toolbox meeting and carry on with the work. With that, I think we will close this panel discussions. Thank you so much, panel.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you, sir. I will request all the dignitaries to be seated. We all have seen how energetic and insightful today's entire day was. Even this session was very well conducted by Captain Dr. Shashank Jahangidar. And even the previous session, I have to tell you, Oliver, we are 1 hour late and still everyone is interested in asking questions and we have to stop the questions so we can understand how impactful it is. And to appreciate these efforts, I will, as a small token of appreciation, I will call upon our director, Mr. Shivram Kamat, to come in front and give away mementos to our speakers. So first I'll call upon Captain Rajat Katoria. Please put your hands together. Next I will call upon Mr. Anand D'Souza. Can I have a round of applause? Next, I'll call upon Mr. Romel Tiwari. Next, I'll call upon Ms. Pooja Rawat. Mr. Deepak Shah. And Captain Dr. Shashank Jahangir. Can we have a round of applause? Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. I know everyone is waiting for the bar, but we have to thank everyone. And this session wouldn't have been successful without all those guys. And to thank everyone formally, I will now request Shri Shivram Kamath, Director, Institute of Maritime Studies, to propose the vote of thanks. I request the dignitaries to take their place.
Good evening, respected dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen. I know it is late. We started late because of the previous function, which could not. Session went off well, thanks to all the speakers and the attendees. So, as we come to the closing moments of today's seminar, Building Mental Resilience and Emotional Strength in Young Seafarers, I would like to briefly reflect on the thought behind selecting this theme. IMS Goa has been conducting its annual seminars in Mumbai for many years now. And while choosing this year's topic, we are very clear that it should be relevant and meaningful to today's maritime industry and may not confine solely to technical domain. So in recent time, mental health in seafarers has emerged as a significant concern reinforced by industry interactions and real life incidents. Mental health and well-being in shipping has come into focus only relatively in recent times and were not commonly discussed earlier. In those days, when we were sailing, if a trainee experienced such issues on board, it was often brushed aside with simple remedy. Spend few more hours in engine room bilges or on deck chipping and painting and everything will be fine. Now whether such remedies worked in is uncertain, but trainees rarely voice their concerns. However, today mental well-being is rightly recognized as a serious issue and must be treated with importance it deserves. The relevance of this theme has further increased in current global environment marked by geopolitical uncertainties. So when invitations for these events were sent out, our theme received encouraging response from all the invitees. So once the topic was finalized, we aimed to ensure the wider participation and learning. As it was not feasible to bring all our 160 cadets to Mumbai, we decided to live telecast it on YouTube and our other social media platforms, enabling our cadets, alumni and other stakeholders to benefit from this discussion. So this year we also involved our young faculty members in organizing this seminar, giving them an opportunity to contribute and gain valuable experiences. I would like to introduce them. You have already seen them, Sri Heston Dias and Sri Akash Chaudhary. So just to briefly introduce them, Sri Heston Dias is an alumnus of 2008 GME batch of IMS and sailed for 8 years with Anglo-Eastern Ship Management up to rank of 3rd engineer. with an experience on bulk carriers, crude oil carriers, and chemical tanker. He joined IMS Goa as faculty in 2017 and holds master's degree in industrial engineering and runs a YouTube channel, Basic Marine Engineering, guiding students and mentoring merchant navy aspirants. Sri Akash Chaudhary is an electrical engineering faculty member at IMS Goa with over 14 years of experience. He holds BTech in electrical engineering and is pursuing his master's in engineering with CGPA of 9.88 up to third semester. He's in the fourth semester now. So he teaches electrotechnology, mentors cadets through technical training and mock interviews, and is actively engaged in research on power systems, which is also trying to help IMS to make the solar transition from normal electricity to solar power plants. And both of them are part of our placement cells. So with this, we now move forward to acknowledging the contributions of all those who made to this seminar. So I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to Captain Rajat Katuria for his inspiring session on inner anchor. His insight on mental resilience, emotional balance offered a meaningful perspective on coping with challenges of life at sea. His session was both thought-provoking and highly relevant to the theme of today's seminar. I extend our sincere thanks to Sri Anand D'Souza for his insightful presentation on the role of social media in lives of young seafarers. His perspective shed lights on challenges that digital platform present in today's maritime environment. The balanced approach he shared has provided valuable guidance to both cadets and professionals in navigating this space responsibly. I convey my heartfelt thanks to Sri Rommel Tiwari for sharing his valuable insights on realities of shipboard life. His perspective offered a clear and honest understanding of life at sea, helping bridge the gap between training and actual shipboard conditions. I take this opportunity to thank Ms. Pooja Rawat for her presentation on mental resilience and human error. Her session highlighted the critical link between mental health, well-being, and safe decision-making at sea. We are also pleased to welcome her to IMS Fold as placement advisor. I thank Sri Deepak Sir for his presentation on Navigate Your Inner Self. He emphasized the importance of inner strength, emotional intelligence, and resilience, and his thoughts encourage meaningful self-reflection. On behalf of all participants, I sincerely thank Captain Dr. Shashank Jagirdar for skillfully moderating the question and answer session. His experience and guidance ensured an engaging and insightful discussion. It is also noteworthy that many questions came from our cadets participating remotely from Goa. I would like to extend my gratitude to Sri Aston Dias for his excellent comparing. I also thank the main architect of this event, our Deputy Director Sri Alvin Dias, ably supported by Aston and Akash, whose meticulous planning ensured the success of this seminar. I extend my appreciation for all the staff members who contributed to the planning of this seminar, including those who could not be present here today. I also thank alumni of IMS Goa who volunteered their support. A special mention goes out to our alumnus Sri Pravlin Singh Gill from DME 2018 batch, whose efforts in coordinating arrangement in Mumbai greatly eased our organization of this seminar. The big thanks goes out to Hotel Mirage, especially Sri Kaustubh Arekar for his excellent arrangement and smooth technical support. We also express our sincere gratitude to the distinguished dignitaries and industry leaders present here today. Your presence has added true meaning and value to this seminar, and the overwhelming response has been deeply encouraging and beyond our expectations. Many of you have been steadfast supporters of IMS Goa over the past several years, and we look forward to the continued support of all present in future, including those engaging with us for the very first time. IMS Goa is managed by Society for Industrial and Technical Education of Goa, SciTech, established with objective of promoting technical education in the state. The founding members of society include VM Salgaonkar and Brothers Limited, Dempo Group of Companies, Goa Shipyard Limited, and Chowgule and Company Limited. The society functions as a true non-profit organization with none of its members deriving any financial benefit from its activities, including those of IMS Goa, a fact that is not widely known. I would like to express our sincere gratitude to the society for its continued support and commitment to contributing meaningfully to the society. In closing, considering the significance of this theme, what we have discussed today is only a beginning, and there remains considerable scope for further deliberation. Many of you may have valuable perspective on perspectives to add to this topic. However, due to time constraint, we are unable to take this forward at this moment. We would be grateful if you could kindly share your views with us over email. We also request you to provide your feedback using the QR code displayed at the venue. God bless you, and we now request you to kindly proceed for networking and cocktail dinner. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, and thank you, everyone. I'm sure this presentation is going to help not just our students, but even all the seafarers and who are here to plan and help your seafarers very well. Before we move towards networking, cocktail and dinner, I will request everyone to come for a group photograph. We'll adjust. We can try. Requesting all the guests, please come with a glass. We can all have all